This is the Karcher Telescopic Spray Lance. Now it's designed to fit the Karcher K series of pressure washers. It is also designed to accept Karcher high pressure accessories. Maximum operating pressure of 180 bar, maximum operating temperature of 60 degrees centigrade. Now fully retracted the length is 1.2 meters and fully extended it's 4 meters. So this is it fully retracted now. What I will do is I'll extend it and you can see what it's like fully extended. Now one thing I will say before I do that is before you use this, make sure that all these clamps here are tightened, because if they're all slack you can't actually work on the ones above if one of them's slack. So make sure that they're all tightened, and then to extend it they suggest that you start off with the thicker end first. Take the strap off the hose. As you pull out the extension piece, the hose slides up inside the pipe. Once that's done, tighten it, then go to the next one, slacken that off, tighten it back up again, and then the last one, slacken it off, pull the hose through, tighten it up. So that is a lance fully extended, 4 meters. I bought this lance to do all my exterior plastic work. So I've got 5 gable ends like the one there, and the weird thing that you can see there is actually a little canopy that comes out when it's sunny, and we've got a conservatory there that wants doing. There's another gable end, and as you can see I've got a lot of plastic to clean, so I decided to give this lance a go to see what it was like. This is my Karcher K4 power washer. I have reviewed this machine on YouTube and I'll put a link to that at the top there. And in order to connect the power lance you've got to remove the gun from the power washer. Now to do that there's a yellow button there on the normal gun that comes with the machine. Just push that in and then the hose will pull out. Now this is a snap-on fitting, and the lance is designed to take a snap-on fitting, so if your power washer doesn't have that snap-on fitting, then Karcher sell an adapter for it, which is not too much. I think it's about £14. I'll put a link to that in the description below the video. The hose goes in there just under the tube. This will only go in one way, so you need to look down the lance and see which way it is, and as you can see this has got 2 flats, one on either side, so they need to be vertical. So make sure the flats are vertical, push that in until it clicks, and then pull on it to make sure that it's connected properly. Now that is now connected. To actually remove the hose when you finish, just pressing that yellow button there and the hose pulls out. So it's very simple to connect and disconnect the lance to the power washer. So I've bought a couple of things to help me do it. The first thing is a snow foam lance, which is basically just a way of distributing detergent around and spreading it around evenly. This is a Karcher accessory, which is kind of an angled adapter, which will allow me to point whatever I've got on the end of the lance downwards or upwards and make it far more versatile. So I'll leave that for a minute or two and then we'll try again. So that actually taken quite a bit off, and I think I could have maybe done to have left it a bit longer, but I want to try something else. high pressure lance on. That is a lot better with a high pressure lance. So that's the gable end finished now. Not particularly hard work with this, it's quite easy to use and it's easy to swap the attachments around. Now, this has had plenty of detergent on it, and if I just use the lance itself with the nozzle that comes with it, it does a reasonable job. If I put the high pressure lance that comes with the Karcher K4, the Vario lance, and use the adapter so that I can change the angle of it, then that's even better. It does a much better job then. I'm quite happy with that. Not too much like hard work, and I think it is far better than climbing a set of step ladders and using a brush or a cloth or something else. I think it's pretty good. I'm glad that I bought it, but in all honesty it's not quite as good as I expected it to be. Maybe it's because I've left it too long to clean it all and everything was just baked on too hard. But I do think it's going to make my life easier, especially with these gable ends. Just a couple of things that I forgot to mention. First of all, this thing is pretty light. It is actually very light for what it is. So there's no issue with the weight of the thing when you're using it. And also on the back here, there is a safety lock. So if you turn that 90 degrees, you cannot press the trigger. If you put it back again, then the trigger works. So it does have a safety lock in case you've got kids. So when you're finished for the day, to put this thing away, you must always make sure that you press the trigger when you've turned the power washer off, so it gets rid of the pressure like that. Press this yellow button on the side of the gun and pull out the hose. And another tip is to always make sure that you empty your pressure washer just in case there's a frost, because you can completely destroy your pressure washer if you leave water in it and the temperature drops below zero. I've got mixed opinions about this thing. The first thing is that it definitely allows you to reach places that you could not reach normally, and it's much safer than climbing up a ladder and trying to do stuff. That is a definite. Now, I think I've demonstrated reasonably well that you can clean paintwork, and although it might be a little bit iffy for paintwork because you would lift the paint off, but you can clean plastic, soffits, fascias, guttering, gable ends, that type of thing with it. It does a reasonable to good job, so long as the dirt that's on the plastic is not absolutely caked on and really solid. And you definitely do need to use a detergent with it. Without a detergent, it is only very marginally effective. Add a detergent and it does a much better job. Now, the fact that you can fit the Karcher attachments on the end, especially that revolving brush, makes it a lot more useful and makes it a lot better at cleaning in little nooks and crannies and in cracks along, say, the plastic and that type of thing. So that is a major advantage. The pressure nozzle itself, and it comes with two, there's a white one and a brown one. The white one is for a Karcher K6 and K7, the brown one is for all the rest. I don't think there's enough pressure on the end of this thing, but I think they've maybe done that so that you don't damage any of your paintwork or anything that you're working on. If you put the actual Vario lance on the end, using that little adapter that I showed you, then it gets far more powerful and it does a much better job. Now, when it's fully extended and you're using the lance, there is some kickback. I don't find it too bad, but you certainly do not want to be on step ladders or up a ladder when you press a trigger with this thing if you've got a pressure lance on the end. It's fine with the brush on the end because that's not pressurized, but as soon as you get a jet coming out of there, it pushes you backwards. You could fall off the ladder. So I don't know what I think about this. I think it's a good product. It doesn't perform as well as I expected it to do. You can see how effective it is on the video. It does get the job done to a pretty good standard. So it's up to you whether you think it's worth buying or not. I hope you found this review useful, and thank you for watching.